would you handle this situation? We got a little bit of a dispute here, and anytime you do with your partner, you can send us an email, mail at kvjshow.com. We'll try to settle it so you don't have a major blow up, and we'll settle whatever your issue might be. Now, in this KVJ court here, the dilemma has to do with the future mother-in-law. It says in the email, my future mother-in-law is wealthy, and she thinks that everything has a price. So she's insisted on a big wedding for my fiance and I. I was fine with something small that we would just pay for ourselves. But I reluctantly caved, and I let her basically pick our venue and most of the details of our wedding. Now, while I see this as a concession that I made, my fiance sees it as a gift from his mom that we accepted. And now she is working a mother-in-law speech into our reception. My fiance and I had agreed that only the bridesmaid and best man would get the microphone. His mom is a big drinker and is openly disrespectful to me. I don't think I have to spell out why this is a terrible combination and something I don't want on my wedding day. Now, when I think of her upcoming wedding, all I feel is dread, and it shouldn't be that way. I don't think my fiance understands what a bridezilla is because he suggested that I was being one over this. He insists that he will monitor his mom's speech, but I don't trust him. I've seen her walk all over him before. Nobody stops his mom, and he never has. So what is going to make this time different? He says I am trying to make something out of nothing. He worries that refusing his mother this right will blow up our entire wedding and create unnecessary drama. He wants me to let it go. Should I?
Yeah, usually the mother-in-law does not get up and speak.
Not typical.
That's not a thing.
Right. She wants it to be about her, and she wants to get up there and basically probably gloat and talk about, and I think she's probably thinking, can you imagine she'd probably have a crack about, obviously I flipped the bill because, they couldn't afford it.
Well, she feels entitled to be able to do this because she's paying for everything.
Yeah.
She's the producer of the big movie.
That's it.
And the producer gets to talk on the mic.
Right. And so, where she's saying, she said, look, I didn't even want this. I didn't ask for this. And, my fiance is like, oh, well, she did all this for us to be like, I never asked for it. I didn't want it. I wanted to have my own. I wanted to be able to call my own shots, and I was worried about something just like this.
That's why you should have really stopped it before. Now I know that's in hindsight, but I don't like having people get involved. I don't like people owing me a favor or me owing someone a favor.
Right.
I like none of that.
I'm just saying I would have been just like her. I'd have been like, no. And the only thing, and probably her biggest mistake, maybe she should have been more insistent, knowing how this mother-in-law is, that she would have pulled something like this.
But if she is paying for everything,
what an awkward situation.
What if she gets on the microphone and she busts out that rhyme? She goes rap. She does one of those raps, those vile raps.
As long as it's not openly disrespectful.
Yeah. It's a battle rap.
It's a battle rap against her new daughter-in-law.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
If that happens, please send us the audio.
So I don't know. How do you deal with this? What would you do if you're in this situation? Because she's very fearful and pretty confident that her mother-in-law is going to say something snide and nasty to her and embarrass her in front of everybody. And I wouldn't want that on my wedding day. I wouldn't blame her.
I think you have to put your foot down and say, no, we're going to keep this traditional. There's no mother-in-law speech. Mm-hmm. There's a best man and a maid of honor, and that's it. Those two are speaking, and nobody else is speaking.
But boy, I hate the idea of owing somebody something. I hate that feeling. She's paying for the whole wedding, and now she feels like she's got one up on you.
Mm-hmm. To me, in a sense, you need to use this as a blessing. I would double down, and I would break it to your fiance like this and say, your mom is overbearing, and she has come for me before, and she will after we get married. What I expect from you is to be this barrier where you keep her in check, because I don't want a lifetime of misery from her. And this is your first test.
This is your chance to show me that you're on my team.
Right.
And you're failing if you let your mother have this speech.
Absolutely. And I would phrase it like that and say, you not standing up to your mom right now lets me know you'll never do it in our marriage, and it makes me reconsider our entire marriage.
Yeah. And maybe this is a blessing, and you're realizing that this isn't the man for you if he can't even stand up for you.
But if mom is paying for everything, she gets a couple minutes. on the microphone. She's paying for everything.
I don't think it's smart.
No.
I just don't.
No, I wouldn't allow this to happen. I wouldn't let anyone pay for my wedding. But the fact that you're going to allow it to happen, she's gonna. Good luck with her trying to not get that microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, you're living in la la land.
She might take it even if you tell her she can't.
If you think someone like that who's paying for a wedding's not going to grab a microphone, you're not living in reality.
Yeah. Well, I would phrase it to my fiance: if a mic winds up in her hand, we ain't having that usual conjugal wedding night. Just to let you know, and the honeymoon ain't gonna be much better.
That's a good start.
Yeah. Well, honestly, he has a chance to pass a test, and I would seriously reconsider the entire marriage if he cannot stand up to his mom in this moment. Trust me, you will have a lifetime of misery if you cannot see that your future husband is going to be the barrier between you and the mother-in-law.
Go elope.
It might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, right?
Seriously. But I would put it to him. I would keep on him because he's trying to now gaslight her and say she's being a bridezilla, which I don't think she is.
What a terrible thing to say, too. She's
Right.
just standing up for herself, and you're calling her a bridezilla?
Yeah, I don't like anything I'm hearing from any of this.
Me neither.
I knew a couple because there was so much drama within the families. They said, you know what? We're calling off the big old wedding and we're going to go elope. And they said they were so happy they did it. It was the best decision they could have ever made.
You
I
can
agree.
do that.
Yeah.
You can do that. It's your wedding. You're allowed to do whatever you want. You don't have to have a big wedding.
Yeah, no, you're right. And Tom said, you know what? Just cut out all the speeches. Nobody wants to hear them anyway. And that might be how you do it. And
I
if
like that.
The mother-in-law can't do it and deal with it, then be like, okay, we're not going to do the big
No
wedding.
one's speaking. There's no microphone.
Unless that speech starts with a little bit of a rhyme.
That's it. Stephanie's on the other side. She said, let her speak and whatever happens, happens. I don't think I like that. If I were getting roasted by my future mother-in-law and I'm sitting up there, I don't know of many women that would take that in stride and be happy and be like, it's just a thing.
That's why you have to have that counter battle rap ready.
Yeah.
Yo, DJ, spin my beat.
Yeah, when she goes low, you go lower.
It's going to end in fists.
There you
That
go.
would be amazing.
You'll be divorced in a week.
Now that's a wedding I would go to.
Yeah, can we get an invite to that one?
Yep.
This is how we do. It's the KVJ show.